Countless acts of love and kindness can build a bridge between two people, but a single lapse into reactive unconsciousness can create a chasm impossible to cross. A single moment of poised non-reactivity can diffuse a brewing storm and transform potential chaos and loss into a calm sea of possibilities. Unconsciously emotionally reacting to people and situations puts a wall between you and everything you want in life. The power of not reacting, the power of remaining calm, centered, and in touch with your true, empowered, authentic self is that it's the key to so many of your heart's desires. In non-reactivity, you are the power. Unconscious emotional reactivity can lose you friendships and relationships because you couldn't control yourself or hold your tongue. It might have you messing up business deals that were going smoothly until the last moment, until you reacted, got hot under the collar at the close, and you broke that trust. The relationships that you want develop and deepen when you're not reactive. Things that you desire manifest when you're able to stay calm, centered, unattached, and able to take empowered action from intuition. Being non-reactive is the embodiment of a profound understanding of your oneness with all things and the illusory nature of the mind, the ego, and the separate person. The deepest power of non-reactivity lies in liberation from the illusion of separation and the establishment of equanimity, inner peace, and awakened intent. What helps us transcend emotional reactivity is first understanding what's happening. When you're reactive, you respond to your environment, situations, or others in an impulsive, unconscious manner, driven by suppressed or unresolved emotions or traumas and preconditioned patterns of behavior. Your body and your internal system go into a state of alarm and defense of a perceived threat, even if in reality there is no threat. You encounter a triggering event. It could be a word, an action, or a situation that provokes an intense emotional response in the nervous system. And this event is perceived that it's something happening to you, reinforcing an illusory sense of being a separate, limited individual and a victim to the situation. Next, an intense emotion begins to rise within you, and if the trigger's touching a deep wound, the intensity can peak within seconds. It could be anger, fear, sadness, or even rage, and in a moment of unconsciousness, you lose touch with your true self as this infinite consciousness, and there is this full identification with this emotion, feeling as if I am scared or I am angry. And the mind begins to interpret and judge the situation from a limited perspective of separation. It creates stories about what's happening, casting oneself as a victim or hero and others as allies or enemies. It feels personal. Physical sensations will arise in the body, perhaps a rapid heartbeat, tense muscles, heat flush, or a churning stomach. And these sensations may be interpreted as further evidence of the reality of your emotional state and the correctness of your current thinking in that moment. Driven by the emotional surge, physical sensations, and a belief and identification in your current thinking, you react. You snap back in anger, withdraw in fear, or exhibit some other reactive behavior. There may be a strong feeling that your words or actions are right and just, even if in the back of your mind you know you're reacting. It's like You can't help it. The desire to react is just too strong. It feels personal, and you believe that you're defending yourself. And these reactive responses can sometimes provide immediate relief because they may feel like they're actually addressing the issue, or that you're expressing your feelings in a functional way. However, they often escalate the situation and create additional problems because they aren't rooted in consciousness, love, or truth, and end up being disrespectful, judgmental, condescending, or just plain OTT. And when it's all simmered down, you realize your reaction was perhaps harmful, or at least unhelpful, or out of proportion to the situation. Even if the other person was doing something unconscious, attacking, or manipulative themselves, you may realize that calmly and assertively drawing a boundary or removing yourself from the situation would have been a better response. If you don't recondition a different response, you'll likely continue to be reactive and caught in the same cycle when inevitably faced with similar triggers. Life gives you the same lessons over and over again until you learn and wake up, right? So how do you become less reactive, or even non-reactive? When you notice a reaction coming up, when you notice those initial physical sensations in your body, stop, pause for a moment, and simply feel the sensations in your body. And then ask yourself, where is this reaction stemming from? Is it stemming from truth, peace, love, or understanding? Or is it stemming from a sense of self that feels slighted, diminished, or attacked in some way? What happens when you just simply feel the sensations and remain knowingly as the awareness that surrounds the whole thing? What happens when you remain present with the sensations instead of immediately listening to and focusing on those self-defensive thoughts that have suddenly appeared in your mind? Examine the situation from this place of consciousness. Who is the one who feels hurt? Who is the one who feels slighted? If you look close enough, you'll find that this sense of self that feels hurt or slighted is an illusion. You can't find it. It's a non-existent entity made out of thinking. And if you pause for a moment and examine your experience, you will see that there is one who's aware of the thinking. There's you, the silent watcher, the awareness that surrounds the thinking and the feeling and is entirely undisturbed by them. Now, stay present and remain aware of this awareness, allowing the sensations to be there, like islands of sensation floating in empty space. Be this space and see that the space is untouched by the sensations. Instead of disappearing down that rabbit hole of thoughts about being a person in conflict with this situation or person, investigate what it's like to remain as pure awareness until you discover that this is the unconditioned true I of infinite consciousness and the universal mind. If you examine your experience closely enough, you can see in this moment that this pure awareness cannot be diminished or harmed by any situation or person. Welcome the feelings. Actually welcome them, but without labeling them. Experience them just as pure energetic sensations. The waves of feeling and sensation rise up like waves, but just like waves, they eventually subside back down again. And as you remain aware of yourself as this aware spaciousness, the initial peak will start to dissolve, and you will remain in contact with the truth. See that this situation is here to teach you something. It's here to teach you, perhaps, a boundary, how to lead, how to get what you really want, how to be more compassionate and empathic, how to be more patient, how to come back to your true self and your true power. Initially, it might feel like peeling back several layers of an onion, as every one of your triggers is exposed by life, people, situations, and released in a loving space of inner safety and compassion. But with time, more and more quickly, you'll be able to reflect and consider from a place of consciousness what the most conscious response would be. In some situations, it might be to assertively but respectfully draw a boundary. It might be to say a stern no to someone's behavior. In other situations, it may be to come from a place of deeper patience, empathy, compassion, understanding, or love. And in other situations, it may be best to do nothing and simply be the loving space for your trigger. Whatever the situation, when you're non-reactive, you awaken from being a victimized sense of self, and you reclaim your true power, and you rediscover your true authentic self as infinite aware consciousness, pure presence, untarnished by all experience, a conscious creator with enlightened intent. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to embody non-attachment and non-reactivity on a deeper level, there are some slots open for a free one-to-one with me or one of my team to see if you'd be a good fit for the Awaken Aware program. Over the years through this program, we've worked with clients to help them dissolve emotional reactivity, stop self-sabotaging behaviors, and show up as their authentic self. And this leads to feeling calmer, more balanced, and able to approach situations with a deeper patience, love, and understanding, and take confident, empowered action from intuition towards the creation of your heart's desires. If that interests you, go to speaktoalex.com, where you'll be taken through a quick survey to see if you qualify for the call. And there's a link to more information about the program and my other programs in the description box below. Peace.